back to another episode of World of Tanks and Gainy Titan, and we're on Alamein in team destruction mode with the Glory IS-5, and it was one of my concerns just as soon as I saw the lineup. We have a reasonable number of tier 8 tanks, but that our guys would just drive straight up to the north because the terrain is kind of attractive and effectively form a limbing terrain. And the trouble with limbing terrains, of course, they tend not to succeed. Unlike, historically, I mean, stuff like an attack like that's referred to often as an attack in echelon, or refusing the flank. Although you tend to be more of, rather than everybody lined up one behind the other, you'd have a slightly extending to the rear, extension out on the flank that you're refusing, so that you're covering the formation, so we say in front is covered somewhat by the formation behind it, or their flanks are covered by this formation behind it. And I didn't particularly want that, because in World of Tanks what happens is that people don't take advantage of the local numerical advantage and push hard into the enemy. Instead they just snipe, and they do so in a way that they're queued up, so you've guys at the back who are not actually having their guns in the game, waiting for the guys in front to die so that they can get into a position where they can continue the sniping fire against the enemy team, rather than everybody shooting at them together. So I was somewhat nervous out here because there's just 3 of us. Now we are top tier heavy tanks, at least 2 of us are anyway. I'm not sure about the guy further back. But the other problem is, of course, that we're heavy tanks, so we don't have extended view range into the center of the map. So there's always the possibility that somebody in the center of the map, a tank destroyer or whatever, would outspot us and start doing heavy damage. Now I am in low ground, so it'd be kind of hard to shoot it maybe from the center, and we have managed to outspot the Tiger, which is nice because I know I can take a Tiger, or even a Porsche Tiger. And the Tiger is actually pushed a little too far forward, because he can't come out and shoot at me without really exposing the tank to everybody behind me. Whereas I can slip in and slip under his position and get right up to them here at the corner. Now my biggest worry is there's somebody further north, and there is, sure enough. There's a T-29 and a T-28 prototype, but they haven't done much damage, and I am more or less clear. And now I am clear because I'm pretty much covered. I've just got the 2 tanks here to worry about. So we have the side shot into the Tiger P. We can avoid engaging the Tiger 1, and I have the cover of the rock here, and I can side scrap over that. Or I could back off and actually go hull down into the sand dune behind me. And I think the hull down position is probably better, because I have less problems with gun depression, and the problem with the backing off where I am to pull out far enough to get a shot from the side scraping could cause me to come off the edge of the dune, off the high ground, and actually tilt my tank upward and give him the lower front plate. So we've gotten rid of the Tiger P, and we now have the Tiger 1 to worry about. And wasn't paying attention to me anyway, and had taken too many hits. It wasn't really a viable position for him. But the T-29 is a much more formidable opponent, and as you can see, even with the tank sloped towards me, so that the front plate was more or less flat, I still wasn't able to put a round through the front plate. And I'm actually shooting premium, I didn't realise that. Or maybe I switch to premium for the T-29 at this range. We've switched back to the regular stuff, and it's now a tank destroyer up ahead. It's a T-28 prototype in the open, so more or less side shot in there, and that got through. I'm confident enough about my front armor holding up here, but I can put shots through the turret cheeks of the T-28 prototype, and that was artillery incoming. That's actually more of a threat, because I am fairly vulnerable to the artillery, and we bounced that one. I think it's just the way, whatever way he was sloped there, so we caused him to bounce. But the medium, the fast movers in our team are now catching up with him. The Pershing is behind him, and I think there's artillery as well, and the like. And he's dead. And that's it. The game has pretty much now turned into our kind of game. We have pretty much won on the other side of the map. The last survivor over there has taken out our last tank, but so I suppose technically the enemy won. But there's enough of us in the rest of the map that we're probably going to mop up easy enough. We outnumbered their real tanks, you would say, even by our ones. Like if you subtract artillery, we still got more tanks. So unless all their tanks are together and they ambush one of our tank clusters, they're not likely to turn the tables at this stage of the game. And I still have I'm in pretty good shape. Like I still have over 1,000 hit points. So my tank is, top tier, good shape. Even if the enemy beat all the tanks in front of me, I probably wouldn't do it without losses, and I'd still be confident that we could win this game. Well, we found one of the enemy tanks, and we found the artillery, and this is the problem that often happens at the late stage of the game. People really should, and they're on the losing side, try and get together and get into mutually supporting positions. Now the Tiger can kind of support the problem with the Tiger's positioning is that he can only support. He can stop the KV-3 from being overrun, but he can't really actively support the KV-3. And he certainly can't stop us from flanking the KV-3's position. We could probably take out the Pershing. And he should have really been in a position to take out the Pershing. And the question also is, where is the tank destroyer? The tank destroyer doesn't seem to be supporting either of his two companions. There's no sign of him. Yeah, I was trying to track the Tiger there just to catch him on top of the ridgeline. And the Tiger is backing off. And he should have, to be honest with you, he should have stayed backing off. He should not have come back up. Absolutely no reason for him to do that. Managed to track him in location. Didn't do a lot of damage there. Guy's got 5 years experience. Should have known better. And there's the tank destroyer. Now the thing is, the tank destroyer was effectively out of the game for the end game. And that's very common, I think, with these UDs. I know they're fairly fragile, but like if you're back there like that, you can't actually support your team, and you're not actually contributing anything really. If your gun's not firing and it's not doing damage, then you're not actually doing anything useful. And he's just running away now, and somebody catches him. Should have done that earlier. He had the speed. He should have actually, if he was going to stay away from the rest of the team, he should have probably gone for the artillery. And at least their artillery was reasonably effective, I think, and he might have changed the game that way. So, Soviet high tier tanks, good earners of money. We did 2,700, nearly 2,800 damage. We blocked more than our hit points and damage. We got a first class mastery and a steel wall out of that. Came number 2 by experience. That Lycan did very well. Almost 2,000 damage, 5 kills. It was a very good score for a Lycan in a tier 8 game. Well worth the GG message for the Lycan. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.